the last green heartbeat. There is a place on Earth where time breathes differently, a place where trees have stood for centuries, holding up the sky with their branches, where water does not simply run, it flows, where life does not exist in the singular, but in the millions. We call it the Amazon, but perhaps we should call it by its true name, the lungs of the planet. The equatorial Amazon, that stretch of living rainforest that runs through Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, and Brazil, is not just an ecosystem. It is the system. It absorbs carbon dioxide. It generates oxygen. It creates what are known as flying rivers, currents of vapor that travel thousands of miles across the continent and become rain over farmland, cities, and entire watersheds. When it rains in Buenos Aires, in Bogotá, in Mexico City, part of that rain was born here. The Amazon does not belong to any one country. It belongs to the world, to life itself, and we belong to it. It is home to 10% of all the planet's biodiversity, more than 3 million species of plants, animals, and insects, many of them still unnamed, still undiscovered. In its rivers lives the pink river dolphin, the boto, witness to a world that is shrinking. In its branches, the scarlet macaw paints the sky red. On its dark forest floor, the poison dart frog walks without fear, dressed in colors that are a cry of life. But the Amazon is not only nature, it is also culture. More than 400 indigenous groups live here, each with its own language, its own cosmology, its own way of understanding time and life. Some live in voluntary isolation, choosing to exist outside the world we call modern. Their knowledge is not folklore, it is science, it is medicine, it is the accumulation of thousands of years of observing, listening to, and caring for a world we are only beginning to understand. They do not live in the rainforest. They are the rainforest. And they are disappearing at the same speed as the trees around them. Every minute, the Amazon loses an area the size of a soccer field. Intentional fires, illegal mining, monoculture plantations pushing into what should be untouchable. When a tree falls, it does not fall alone. It takes with it decades of photosynthesis. It takes the insects that depended on its bark, the birds that nested in its branches, the fungi that wove invisible networks through its roots. It takes with it a silence that should never have happened. And yet, we are losing it, one tree at a time, one fire at a time, without listening. Defending the Amazon is not an act of romantic love for nature. It is the most urgent, most necessary act of our time, because without the Amazon, the water cycle breaks, the climate destabilizes, millions of people lose the rain that feeds their crops, species that could cure diseases disappear before they are ever discovered. Without the Amazon, we are no longer ourselves. The Amazon is not asking us to admire it from a distance. It is asking us to act up close. Every voice that rises matters. Every consumer choice matters. Every scientific project, every community that resists, every tree that does not fall matters. Every law that protects Central America matters. The rainforest does not need us to save it as if it were some fragile object. It needs us to recognize that it is saving us. To listen to it, to defend it, and to stay aware of what is happening. To rise to the level of what it has done for us for millions of years.